Alright, there we go. The game went ahead and loaded up for us. Whoa, this is bigger than it used to be. Which is actually really, really nice. I approve of having that really obvious and in your face. Let's take a look. There's not a lot of aluminum going on this map. No real good sources of it. We've got some iron, a lot of water going on, some carbon. Aluminum's going to be a concern, but it is aluminum once again. It's a very important resource, but not a highly demanded resource most of the time. So as long as you've got some, you're usually okay. Let's see. Haven't really looked and found a good spot yet. I'm leaning expansive this game, although I'm pretty sure we can make scientific work as well if we can just find a spot to put it. No pirates on auction, so maybe we can get a little creative here. And do something just a little bit silly. I'm not too attached to the spot though, to any of these spots, so I'm not too worried about throwing down immediately, for example. Alright, well that'll work. I think that should be okay. We've got a decent spot. Okay, we can't get the aluminum we were after, unfortunately. That kind of got... We're not going to get aluminum. We're just going to have to deal with it. Not getting aluminum this game. That's unfortunate. We didn't found right next to the aluminum, though, and it just so happened that this expansive player decided to. It was kind of an odd founding location, in my opinion, but that's just where we're at. Unfortunately, that leaves us running kind of behind when it comes to the buying and selling of resources. And we'll just have to see how it goes. They've also taken this water tile, which is quite aggressive in a lot of ways. It's understandable, but it is a little bit frustrating from my perspective. I suppose what we can do is not worry about silicon, which I haven't even really looked at on this map. There's not a lot of it going on either. But we can instead grab up these 2 aluminum tiles and try to make that work and just see how that goes. Obviously, we're waiting for the steel to come on in. We will go ahead and be patient for it and just wait. It'll get here eventually. With any luck, it'll be okay. We just have to wait. Be a little bit patient, and that's all right for the time being. This is a bit of an odd found spot because, well, it was a bit of an odd map, so we're just working with what we've got, basically. Wow. Okay, it's not pirates, it is mutiny. I hear the sound effect and I'm like, pirates, seriously? But no, it's a mutiny, and that's okay. A mutiny would actually be quite valuable. We could steal... You can't really mutiny anything back because mutinies aren't available. But 16,000 is starting to push it, in my opinion, for a mutiny. I think I'm going to go ahead and let it go and hope that a better auction comes up later. Something like a claim auction could be a lot more helpful. Okay, here comes our first shipment of steel. That'll allow us to expand fairly easily. Here it is. We will go ahead and use that to secure aluminum to kind of help guarantee upgrades in the future. And then I'm thinking we try and get a farm down unless our opponent... Yeah, our opponent already has farms down, our opposing scientific player. So perhaps reactors would be a slightly better call for the time being. That way we're not fighting over that food resource. Then we just start selling down steel and trying to get into glass. I know we're going to be late to glass, but that's just the reality of the situation right now. That's what happens when we get interrupted trying to take this claim. It's just very unfortunate, but it set us far behind this match, honestly. Everything we were doing just completely disrupted by that. We will just stick to 40 glass. We're going to be running behind Clark this entire game. He's the one in the strongest position by far right now, in my opinion. So we'll just have to see what happens. Alright, we're going to go ahead and secure the silicon that we require to build power on HQ level 3 before we worry about hitting HQ level 3. We've got the glass secured, we've got the aluminum coming in, slowly but surely. And then we can think about, in the future, getting rid of these aluminum mines and just putting down power instead. It's kind of going to be the basic idea. There we go. 160 glass stored up. That's enough for 2 solar panels. We could push to 240, potentially, if we really want to, but it's not absolutely necessary. Also interesting to note that iron has gotten quite expensive. Just something we're going to have to keep an eye on, for sure.
Scientific colony
Do we
expanded.
push for 3 solar panels is the question right now. That's the real concern. There's already a lot of power down right here is the thing. Bradbury already has a lot down, so I'm tempted to stick to the 2 and see what else we can do with all the rest of our claims. Including getting some reactors down, all kinds of small things like that we can certainly do. That's probably what I'll aim for. Maybe just a couple solar panels down here. Leave the aluminum up for now. It's holding its value all right. It's not great, but it's okay. And there's the upgrade.
Such elegant use of funding. We'll have more facilities open in no time.
New land is available for auction.
Alright, a geotherm auction. We could use the geotherm. Even considering that we are trying to get into solar panels right now, we could use the geotherm. Not absolutely necessary, but certainly not a bad thing to have around. Go ahead and drop a couple solar panels. We'll be in a decent spot. By the way, guys, I'm going to be like sluggish, slow, not so on the ball today. I'm exhausted. Still, I just decided finally that we've got to just do the stream is basically what happened. So we're doing this stream. Let's see. I could push this to 20-ish. I don't really want it for 24. But if we get it for 18, that'll be alright. Alright, 20, we'll probably just let it go. I kind of would have liked it for 20. And so that's why I was waiting so long on that 18, because I didn't want to bid it. But I should have made sure to bid the 16, and I didn't. And that was kind of a definite error there. Okay. Let's see. Bradbury's stock price is really strong. Clark's is strong. Mine is strong. Yeah, there's just a lot of people in strong positions at this point in this game. Alright, one thing we could have considered would also have been glass production. We're trying to just buy the 60 glass we require. And we don't want to get in the way of Herbert's glass production at all. There's a patent office coming down for Clark. That is an early patent office, I gotta say. Actually, what we'll do is we'll sell out of the glass because he's making it. We'll just make sure we sell out of it and hopefully we'll be alright. So black market, we've been mostly ignoring this game because it's been kind of difficult to figure out exactly how to use. I'll go ahead and grab that adrenaline boost. Quick and fast good worker stim pack. Okay. I liked adrenaline boost better, but whatever. It's fine. So glass is coming on in. That is more food production going down. Like, look at the price on food, and food production's dropping right now. That's just ridiculous. You can see how long-term food got a little silly, and so that's why we didn't go too ridiculous trying to get to those farms this game. Because other people were already in it. It was just kind of whatever. We'll get there eventually. Not a big deal. Aluminum's still going okay. I think those tiles, well, you see it just dropped from 32 to 20, so there's that, but the basic idea was still there at least. We could sell down some steel. I'm kind of hoping this glass price drops. That's all I'm waiting for right now. Is for that glass price to drop. Ooh, and we got to do something about this. This is probably goon squatted fairly heavily, but we'll go ahead and... Well, we got a little bit of a freeze going on there. That's pretty important. I'm actually just going to sell down steel. It popped up over 100. And maybe use that to secure just a little bit of stock. I could go ahead and just upgrade. The glass kind of came down a little bit. Not too much one way or the other. It'll work, I suppose. Alright, let's go ahead and get another reactor down. We could get a little more power down, but that's kind of expensive at this point. It might be better for us to just, let's see. We could get chem production down, it would be okay. Could go into an engineering lab, that would work out well. And that leaves us with 2 claims. Alright, a core sample. Core sample could be useful. Man, that is a lot of silicon coming in for Bradbury. That's a lot of cash in Bradbury's pocket. I did not expect Herbert to go into glass production like this. I suppose it's working, kind of, for making money, but it's not great. Get on the core sample. Come on, don't be silly. Sell out some aluminum there. We'll plant this if we get it. We'll push to 20 and that's it. 24, I think we'll let it go. If we'd gotten it, we would have just put it right next to our base and seen what we could do with it. But I'll just let it go for now and that's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. Sell down some steel. Sell down some everything in general. I would love a goon squad before long. Using this adrenaline boost would not be a bad idea. We could push into just more reactors right here. And that could be okay for the time being, planning on getting into chems at HQ level 5. It also lets us use our adrenaline boost a bit more easily. Whoa, a steel shortage. Well, tell you what we can do is just go ahead and boost out steel and goon squad it to be careful. That can be our response to that, and we are going to start upgrading that chem production. Now we're just looking for that upgrade. Glass still not really coming down too much. We've also got electronics production down, which is definitely questionable. As you can see, it's actively losing money right now. Not really what you're looking for when it comes to your production. And we have let power go maybe just a bit too much. If we could get an extra claim, that'd be fantastic, but we're really nowhere close to it. So instead of fully upgrading this chem production, we'll try and just get to a little bit more power. As you can see, aluminum is still $50 a piece right now. So we don't really want to scrap out of our aluminum just yet and exchange it for power. On top of that, silicon's up at 90, so that's also just kind of eh. Are these losing? Yeah, okay, he just scrapped his glass, so we're going to buy up the glass we need to upgrade right now. Just 80 glass. There we go. We can get to the expansion. We're going to take it. We're still boosting out steel from one place, which is good. We got to what we really, really wanted. Herbert is dying to Bradbury. So we got to the expansion. We need to do a little stock buying here if we can, while we're doing all of our transitioning. Oh, man. Herbert's dying just a bit too much right now. I don't know if I can completely save him, which is a big problem. Alright, 5 claims left. I wanted power. Power takes silicon. Silicon's kind of expensive. We could go ahead and take a couple silicon, I suppose. There and there. And then we throw down something like chem production in these 3 tiles. And we can make that work-ish a little bit. So, let's go ahead and get into that. Whoa, wrong tile. Well, whatever. It's too late now. There you go. There's our chem production. Oh, man, and he's dead. That really sucks. Well, that's kind of a problem, but whatever. Did I already? Yeah, the silicon already showed up here, too. That tanked so hard, so fast. Like, it's down to 60 all of a sudden. I was not expecting that. Well, we'll go ahead and gather some up. That'll let us more easily get down power out here. We can transition into some chems here if we really want to. There are options. I was just not expecting Herbert to die like that. That debt. Alright, well, what do we do from there besides probably just lose the game if we can't get a buy done quickly? We got this mule. We'll go ahead and grab some carbon with it, I suppose. Let's keep those upgrades going. We'll upgrade chem production again. How are those doing in terms of money making? Yeah, they're just fine. That's good at least. Alright, now we keep buying into Clark, I suppose, for now. Try and get as much of that secured as we can. We were in a decent spot to make money. It's just, it's not great, is the thing. Yeah, silicon completely died on us, so we'll switch over into glass. The steel is still going strong. It does mean also we can get rid of this aluminum fairly easily and throw down some solar panels. Hopefully that'll help out as well. So we've got adequate production everywhere. It's not great production, though, and I think we need great production at this point in the game. Bradbury buying into us. We knew that was going to happen. We gotta keep buying into ourselves at this point. How did I end up in C levels of debt? That's pretty impressive. I did not realize that was happening at the time. Well, you have so much cash. This is just gross, honestly, is what this is. This is just gross. I don't know what to do about it. Like, how did... Oh, and I just clicked to sell instead of trying to click buy. Yep, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm just being slow today. How do you have that much money? That is absolutely insane. I know he's got 2 people worth of production. I guess he's also making a ridiculous amount on power right now. Well, that's GG. I tried to defend Gameslayer. It just wasn't going to happen. That's what it comes down to, I guess. Chem production still going. And he's on 2 engineering labs as well. There's basically no way. It is not possible to win this game from here, unfortunately. Well, first game back in like a week, basically. I guess that's to be expected. I have $150,000 of debt. I honestly don't know why that happened. I guess I just let power go for too long. That's pretty much the only explanation I can think of, is I just let power go too long. We've got glass kind of coming in. I don't think we've gotten a single shipment of it yet. I wanted to swap these out for farms at some point, but the glass has already been always been kind of pricey, which is why I had never made the transition just yet. I'm really surprised he actually came up with the money to get that victory. I think that was entirely based on silicon. Like, he was just gathering silicon at the right time as Herbert was burning silicon and increasing that price. And that led to him winning the game. It's basically what it comes down to. Just kind of a bit of a gamble in some ways, taking silicon like that. But when people play into it, it'll work out just fine. So that is what it is. And I can't pay down debt with all this power at all. Well, that's going to be GG in a moment here then. Unfortunate. Not much to say about it, honestly. There's just... It's kind of a free win. That's just the way it is. Alright, well, let's watch him finish it up. I deleted these, and then they just came back. That's interesting. Well, he'll clean this up in a moment here. I really, really need, at this point, I'm going to point out what we really need here. This is not helpful. What do I want over here? I want... F1 is what I want. There we go. This is not helpful for figuring out what happened that game, right? I kind of know what happened. I think silicon just got too pricey, and I didn't go into it. And I was thinking about it, and I just never did. And then I couldn't defend Gameslayer, who just died too hard. Like, Gameslayer let himself die, and that was basically the game. But I would love to be able to see wealth values. What happened? What was making money when? All kinds of important details like that. Because it's really hard to pick apart exactly what happened when an opponent did it. Because I can't go back and memorize literally every last thing they did. So if we go and look at Omar Little... Yeah, 50k of silicon. 100k of electronics. Seriously? Did he just have those upgraded late in the game? I imagine he must have just gotten those upgraded and been churning them out once silicon dropped. But I think it was this 50k silicon that carried him through initially. And then the steel and electronics carried him through afterward. He also made a lot on chems. He was just making a lot of cash in general. You can see we made a lot on chems. We made a lot on steel. We made a lot on oxygen. It just wasn't enough to compete at all. But I'm going to blame most of it, honestly, on that exceptionally poor start. And just the bad luck of getting blocked on the aluminum mine. And then everybody else getting to take their aluminum mines that they positioned away from their base, and us not. So, that'll wrap up the first one. Let's see if we can hop into another.